David Schild.
Thank you to Jeff Hughes for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. BJ Hunt, thank you for helping put the show together and get all the work from New York to Webster. It's indeed a great honor and a privilege for me to be here because I used to sit where y'all are sitting right now. I was here, I had these aspirations, these dreams, wasn't really sure what art was. I had these vague notions from things I'd seen in St. Louis, the art museum, whatnot, and I've gone on to truly live the life of the artist. This is a piece from 1993. It's in the student galleries over in the VAS. It's called Home Field. Studying with Carol Hodson. I was one of her first students. And really, for me at Webster, it was about essentially cracking my head open and filling it with the possibilities that exist out there in the world for all of us. It's an unwritten book, and we write it. We are the cultural creators of our societies, of our communities, and of our neighborhoods. I started to explore these notions of remixing and reinterpreting kind of historical painting or classical forms into a my contemporary statement or my contemporary form through collage. This is one piece, and they're all small. Another piece, just taking advantage of the imagery and the culture that was surrounding me at the time. In 1995, I entered the museum school in Boston and Tufts University, where I studied with the graduate school level in Boston, in that environment. And the graduate consortium's another experience where it's like they split your mind open and they pour in information. And you become viscerally aware of the flexibility of the everyday world, of art history for me in particular, and actually using some of these tropes of modern art, whether it's the abstract gesture, the plop, becoming my form that I'm going to manipulate, right? It's a commentary on art history and a contemporary art history, and my enjoyment of this visceral, the visceral gesture, not just in painting, but in performance, and these spin, so it's lively, it's interactive, an installation shot. So again, it's a commentary on that gesture. It's me exploring and remixing this abstract gesture. Again, that's an installation view from my thesis show, or my thesis review. I started exploring the nature of the image, the photographic image, and in some ways disrupting it and hoping to equate the gesture to the image, because it's the eye and the gesture of the eye. What do you see? What do you frame? That's an abstract notion. We're capturing a time and a place that only exists for that millisecond that we perceive it and grab it, and that's the thing. And that continues to be a theme for me. This is the birth of Action Man, Man of Action, who is one of my alter egos and a performance character that I use. He's my superhero. He's the G.I. Joe figure that we all, the action figure that many of us aspire to, fighting for good in the American way, as it were. But he's kind of, he never gets it quite right. He's always, in the end, he never quite attains his goals, although it's his process, and he's going for that. That's Action Man in Action. That's from a performance at the Donnelly Gallery in Boston. The project was called Cause of Sui 1, The Cause of Self, and again, this notion of remixing becomes personal now. It's no longer about art history. I'm remixing myself. It's my own persona, my own identity that becomes this fluid media for me to manipulate, for me to expand on. And the bust, which is melting, is a bust of myself. So it's kind of like forgetting what I know. You have to forget what you know in order to know something new, right? So you give up one to get a world of many options. Again, the Kaza-Sui 1. The After Effects. At this point, too, Father Xmas is born. Father Xmas is another of my characters. As Action Man might be the hero, Father Xmas is the anti-hero. He's a cross between a Goldman Sachs broker and maybe a real estate developer and Santa Claus, right? He brings you all the good stuff, right? All the stuff you want and desire. This is from the show we did, Hyper, which was another group show, and Action Man commenced to debauch himself and debauch the whole opening, eventually falling drunk on the floor and passing out. It was a rough night and an even rougher morning. And if you ever have the opportunity to go party with the Wall Streeters, it's scary, and they're very much like that. The Plops and Stripes, again, it's a synthetic reflection on the abstract expressionist gesture against the Best Western motel chain's color scheme. After the Plops and Stripes series, I started exploring language and the word as an abstract gesture and using color code and font to try and bridge the distance between the two so that hopefully in the end words and color and form kind of coalesce and trump one another into this, should we say, a more open form, a more open piece. Cancer, terrorist. Now this, of course, is right after 9/11, so we're at this bridging point where, you know, when you take a word like terrorist, especially at that time, and you put it in a French script and make it pink and have the red, white, and blue background, what's that about? Well, that's what I want. That's my goal. I've succeeded. What is that about? Led me into, now these are all overpainted, large series. These were from the Islip Museum show. This is my punk rock, Rococo series, where I've actually painted over people's paintings and created these three-dimensional, gaudy, bling-bling frames that go around them. This is the Celestial Abraham Lincoln with the blessing, it's the performance, the blessing of the crew. And that's it. Thank you.